Jesus Christ. Turns out that when cops find you alone in a store with busted windows and destroyed shelves, they might have questions for you. I was damn near about to get put in cuffs when Mrs. De Bruyn showed up to explain what happened. She looked the most frazzled I've ever seen her.
We have a pronunciation guide.
I forgot.
Mrs. De Bruyn.
Is it De Bruyn?
I don't. No. I don't remember at all. It was Mrs. De Bruyn.
So Saberwolf, one of the two developers, I think it's Saberwolf. I always struggle to get their name right. Probably because there's some YouTuber called Saberspark. So I was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
So they put out a pronunciation guide on YouTube. I opened that tab and I saved it for later to watch before our next session. And then I haven't watched it, so I forgot. So
I watched it and I just remember thinking, oh god, we got everyone wrong.
I watched like a couple minutes of it, but it was like it was like more, and I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll review this when it's time to play the next episode, and now we're here and I didn't. So
they also said a lot like pronounce it whatever makes you feel happy.
The important thing is that you're having fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so on.
Anyway.
I was hoping to get some time to myself to decompress, but when I get home, it's almost 11. So our Batman guy is not actually experienced in being a superhero, which is why people aren't prepared for him to show up. And also, he hasn't thought through the fallout of his own actions, so he just like leaves people at crime scenes, and then they just get like eventually arrested for this perceived crime that they seemingly did now that they're there.
Let's sort of, are there any memes or references in the background art here? Let's see. 'Cause there were some at one time. Or there's usually been like some little jokes and gags.
It's
I don't actually recognize anything.
I don't recognize anything at the moment. There's a little island.
I don't know.
It's really hard to make out the figures on the shelf, but like at all. I don't know what I'm looking at there. On a very slight way, the crouching figure on the shelf looks like they have like a weird circle on their chest, almost like Iron Man or Thor having those circles, depending on where the circle is and how many there are. Yeah, that's Wonder Woman.
One of the books almost has an Among Us on it.
Was Among Us out?
No. I mean, yes.
Yeah, I think it was. I think Among Us was around when this came out.
That's not an Among Us.
I can't make out the wolf.
I can't make that out.
I don't know what the wolf is, but yeah, that's definitely Wonder Woman. Like, unambiguously, that's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Which means that woman is a... Well, maybe she's Wonder Wolf. I don't know if woman is a term in this universe or not. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
My hot take about furry universes is just to be like, fuck it, and just use the word humanity anyway. Because you need something that collectively refers to all of the people. And Ad Astra's solution being to say sapiens feels weird. And I don't even know if that's etymologically correct or not.
That's probably like a whole thing that you can get into, is like whether humanity refers to humans specifically or like the concept of like life and culture. Like, I'm sure there's a linguist that has an opinion.
This is such a nice room.
It's beautiful.
I like the nice big couch putting a nice big screen. He has multiple rooms in his life, which is nice. I don't have that. He has a flex holograph screen. That can't be better than a normal screen. Like, you can see the back, you can see the stand through the screen. That inherently feels like it's probably worse than just having a normal screen. But sci-fi settings. Sci-fi settings always have to invent a worse screen than the ones we currently have. That looks more expensive.
Yeah, that's a touch screen visor hologram thing, so it's both got your fingerprints on it and you can see through it.
Let's see. I don't know if I can make anything out. It's extremely common for when you get to the bedroom of the visual novel protagonist for it to have references to other visual novels within the industry. And I don't see any of that either. Stepping into the living room feels like walking into an entirely new world after that happened. A less adventurous one, I can only hope. There's that one weird feeling when you go on like a long vacation or something and you come home and your home feels less like home. Like it oddly...
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like you're not ready to step back into the mundanity.
Your home feels oddly less familiar. Like you're like, oh right, I remember this place in a weird way when it's the place you're always at normally. Like people always talk about the comfort of going back to your own bed, and on some level I get that, but also when I first get back to my own bed, it's oddly alien a little bit.
I just feel like the climate is always a little bit wrong, because it's like your house is either more humid than you usually have it, or like it's too hot, you know, something like that's wrong.
Seems like Max already went to bed. He left the mail on the kitchen counter, along with some empty nectar bottles. I'll have to check it later. Nectar. Do you think Max is a butterfly or a bat? They already had a bat, so I'm guessing butterfly.
Yeah. Butterfly.
Which is wild. That's extremely... That's off the rails compared to all the other Echo Project games as far as what species are like on the table. They've pretty much just been like mammals and reptiles. But this one already had a fish. Once my messenger bag's on the table, I put my seriously flattened but still edible pastries in the fridge. Oh, that's sad.
Aww.
Is there gonna be like shit's gonna be squished out of them? It's just
Ew.
Most of it's taken up by what looks like an enormous casserole, lasagna, abomination. Let's go with that.
Damn.
Huh? There's a sticky note attached.
Who the fuck puts a sticky note on a casserole?
Well, it's on the lid, or like on the tray, not right, on the pasta.
That makes sense.
Just squeeze.
I thought it was just on the casserole.
It's just in the hot. It's just in the red sauce, just squished in there.
Good. Now it's perfect.
Save some for you, Max. I touch it through the plastic foil and immediately regret what I've done. Hard as a brick and slimy as all get out at the same time. How do you even manage that? It's like I'm poking brain matter. It smells even worse. Have you smelled brain matter? Gross. It collapses in on itself when I retract my hand. This is like a horror lasagna. I feel like there's only like 4 ingredients involved and they can only combine in so many different ways. It's basically just a reconstituted spaghetti. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
I feel like we can't fuck it up that bad. It's like, oh no, the pasta's a little too al dente or something. Something I don't feel like dinner for the next 5 days. Damn, we're really going hard on Max.
Jesus Christ. He really doesn't like the nightmare casserole that eats your dreams or whatever the fuck is wrong with this thing.
It's just, it sounds like a fucking D-list horror flick. It's like the casserole
nightmare
that eats.
Casserole.
like the fucking that movie about like the movie about the bed that digests you. Or rubber. I try to ignore the abomination as best as I can and just go for a can of soda and a bowl of potato chips.
That's my man right there.
Yep. No, actually.
Is this a Tarantino reference here? The cornerstone of any nutritious diet.
I don't know. That might just be a generic line.
No, that's a Pulp Fiction reference.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like Tarantino a lot. And that's taken the form of me watching Reservoir Dogs too many times, and Django Unchained, and obviously just a fuck ton of Kill Bill, and then Inglourious Bastards. I've seen Pulp Fiction once.
Oh, okay.
For some reason.
It's not your thing?
I don't remember it, honestly. It didn't Kill Bill wires its way into my brain, is infinitely rewatchable the same way that it was when I watched Scott Pilgrim. They're just the most fun movies ever made, while not being actively trash the way that your average action movie that's just supposed to be just for fun usually is. And Reservoir Dogs is like one of my favorite movies after like Dark Crystal. But Pulp Fiction just didn't stick, and I still haven't watched Jackie Brown a single time. It's like my gap in his filmography is like Jackie Brown and I guess Death Proof, technically, if that counts.
No.
The double feature of movies no one cares about. The cornerstone.
Yeah, I like Tarantino a bit. When I was doing more creative writing, I studied the way that he wrote dialogue because it's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like his hallmark.
Yeah, he's known for his way that he can just make
talk.
people write just talking for like 10 minutes, and it's riveting, and you're like upset that it's working.
It'll just be like pineapple on pizza or like whatever, you know, and it's just like
Reservoir Dogs opens with an argument about tipping. And it's I remember it all the time. I think about it all the time.
Or in Pulp Fiction, there's a conversation about a Royale with cheese.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway.
No, I'm obsessed with that stuff. It made it into a video essay I scrapped when I was talking about the tension, about a movie's tension and stuff like that, because I was referencing Inglourious Bastards and its use of scenes that will drag on for so long that you'll see somebody order their dessert, and then later in the scene they receive the dessert, and then they eat the dessert on camera over the course of the one scene.
Yeah.
And it's because they're just fucking with
intense.
you. Yeah, like it's not just like, oh, this is dragging on. It's like
specifically about very brutal one.
Yeah, I'm talking about Inglourious Bastards with the when the Nazi sitting next to the Jew that survived the opening scene, and you're just stewing in the tension for the entire scene. That movie is so indulgent at having these overlong scenes that have a secret you're waiting for to come out, and it's so tense, and it's tense in part because it's a coin flip every time whether or not this bad thing that you're worried about will happen. Like there are multiple scenes in that movie that end with everyone dying, basically. And it's brilliant. It's very good, because I say drag on and indulgent and long, but the specific thing that's impressive about that movie is that it works the whole time, and it's not like, wow, why is this scene so long? You're like, oh my fucking god, the scene's still going, stop it. And that's fascinating.
It's very painful when people try to emulate Tarantino, though. Like, when you read like an amateur script and it's like, okay, they're very clearly trying to
because people go to college to become filmmakers because they saw Tarantino films. Yeah. And it gets really amateur really fast, Didn't care about his last two films.
The same thing with Sorkin dialogue as well, like The Social Network. And like that I really can't stand. I don't like that type of dialogue where everybody seems like they're the smartest fucking person who's ever lived, and it's just like
that
them
thing where it's like
constantly.
I want you to understand that when you never connect with anyone ever again, it's not because you're a tortured genius, it's because you're an asshole.
That line is very funny, though.
That was a good conversation. I don't know how they're speaking clearly in a club, but Anyway, we went places for a minute. I still need to rewatch Hateful Eight has a mini-series edit where they just indulgently expanded what they had into it, so that's like a mini-series on Netflix or something instead of a 3-hour movie, or like a 3.5-hour movie or whatever it was, and maybe that's better. I don't know. I don't remember that one. It bounced off me.
I don't remember either.
No one talks about Hateful Eight out of all of his movies, I think.
No.
The cornerstone of any nutritious diet. A round cheese. I was going a different direction off of that line, which is that I was just thinking like, man, I don't like chips. As a blanket term, I just do not like potato chips, and I don't see them as a staple. I shouldn't be having caffeine this late. There's no one stopping me, is there? Just your future.
Yep.
My usual spot on the couch secured, I stuff a handful of potato chips in my mouth. So I did a 12-hour editing stream for the video essay, and in the middle of that session, I grabbed a yerba mate, which is full of caffeine, and downed it. Then the moment I stopped drinking it and it was done, I then looked at the clock and saw it was 7 p.m. And that is not the calculation I made. That is not So I only, after it was too late, knew I was fucked. And the next morning I had jury duty. So I had to wake up at 8.
No.
So I was up till like 3 or 4 trying to fall asleep, just so I could roll out of bed at 8 and go straight to the place at 9, only to then find out when I arrived there early and had already paid for parking and everything, and I've already downed a Red Bull for the morning to make myself function because of the fact that I was trying to wake up so quickly while in so little sleep. Only after that do I realize I forgot to actually call in the day before to find out if I had jury duty, and I didn't. So I suffered all of the negative consequences of having to wake up for jury duty and didn't have it, and just drove home and then did another 7-hour stream of editing. So in 2 days I streamed 19 hours of editing that video essay until it was done. Well, I just destroyed my body and mind.
Yeah. From another perspective, you could say that because you didn't have to do jury duty, you didn't suffer all of the consequences of having to wake up and do jury duty.
Yeah, but it really fucked me up.
Yeah.
If I had realized I didn't have jury duty, I could have solved a lot of problems. TV, turn on. Universes with the voice commands. No. I hate them. Screen flashes to life, lighting up the room, almost incinerating my retinas in the process.
God.
Okay.
Off HDR, dude.
It's too much HDR. The H stands for lasers. Oh. You wanna be a robot?
Sure. Good evening, Alex de Rooij here. The date is Friday, April 20th, 2035. 2035. No, a bad fucking text-to-speech would say 2035, wouldn't it?
2035.
The date is Friday, April 20, 2035. The time is 22/56.
What was a fucking Kingdom Hearts game title?
What would you like to watch this evening?
I shrug. Surprise me.
Analyzing current emotional state. High stress levels detected.
No kidding.
Analysis complete. Selected programming will now commence. Enjoy your viewing experience, and remember, when you think of the future,
slogans on your TV. Think of Brevard, yeah. If I got €1 every time I heard that, I'd be as rich as Brevard himself by now. Oh god,
like from a fucking 4chan green text future. Like you have to say a slogan to unlock your TV. Hi, oh my god, this guy's thick.
Our Batman is so annoying that he makes all of his products say his slogan out loud. You really think he's the one?
He faced an army alone. He faced an armed enemy alone without a moment's hesitation. I figured even you would be impressed.
Got common robber unawares that lived to tell tale. He was reckless, careless, lucky. Had it been real battlefield?
Lighten up, sunshine. You're taking this even more seriously than I am.
And you're not taking things seriously enough. One thing to play vigilante, but place trust, life in hands of this untrained stranger would not be prudent, sir.
You forget, my friend. The greatest men and women on Earth were untrained strangers once. As was I. As were you. All it takes to be a hero is a nose for trouble and the balls to go look for it.
What? What was that? Look for the balls? Alright, very well. You will see if he has potential.
You'd come around.
I am not around. I am not even in vicinity. But I am intrigued, I suppose. Says one huge feather over the top of his head.
Yeah. A badass.
Bye. Oh, we can see it's Superman. and
Los
Batman.
cuentos ver juntos, Leonardo. Sabes que hemos caso amanecer.
Oh my god. I just want to point out that we have a Batman poster in the game where the guy is clearly based on Batman.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Oh,
that was an otter, and this is the wait.
Oh,
Leonardo!
Oh no! We're
It's
in outer space.
Leonardo. You're playing Chase, but in Spanish. It's Chase and Leo from Echo. I'm about to choice base. Oh no, this is my worst nightmare. I have to read a Leo line, but also it's actually in Spanish this time.
Go for it.
Rosa del Deserto. Mi negas no. Mis deseos hablar. Al menos permítele, por favor, a mi corazón cantar. Yo te amo.
Oh.
I can't wait to find the translation of that.
Something about singing to his heart. I didn't catch the rest of it.
I wonder if it's referencing a specific thing from Echo, because it's definitely Leo and Chase. That's
It's probably a specific scene or like a summary of the scene.
Oh, change channel. All right. The music of Ad Astra. Oh, it says Ad Astra. Nice. All right.
From the creators who brought the stars to the stage 3 times before, comes another galaxy-spanning adventure like no other. Ad Astra, on ice! Relive the...
Change channel. So here's your references you were asking about.
Yeah, I guess so.
Has this ever happened to you? Oh, giraffe actor.
I'd love to buy a car, but most models are so small. There's just no room for my neck.
When I drive, my tusks get tangled around the steering wheel. I've had 3 accidents and counting. What do I do? Rivard brings the solution to your doorstep with its patented... Change channel, please.
And now for the local news.
I'm about to change the channel again when Mr. Bruin's storefront appears on the screen.
Robbery in Sweetwater District tonight was narrowly thwarted by 2 unlikely heroes.
I swallow the potato chip I've been chewing on for a good while. I almost fall right off the sofa when I... I don't like the description.
You're not supposed to eat them for long.
Like, it's just mush and he's just, like, savoring it.
My God.
He's trying to see if he can turn a mouthful of potato chip into gum.
It's gonna be mushy.
I almost fall right off the sofa when I lean forward.
The situation seemed dire for 63-year-old store owner Maria de Bruyne after a robber claiming to work for the Saltwater Syndicate forced her against the counter, holding her at gunpoint. It's the latest in a string of recent robberies claimed by the Syndicate. Police suspect...
As it switches over to security footage, my phone lights up like a beacon. Willem's calling. Yeah? We have nothing to go on. It's brutal.
I don't remember who Willem is.
What? What'd you say?
I don't remember who Willem is.
We don't know Willem yet, do we?
Oh, okay. Well, you voiced him.
Wait.
I've done a lot.
Or was Willem the chicken from the beginning?
Oh, they might have been the chicken. Oh, they're the chicken because it's their bar.
it's red text. Yeah, I think so. So
okay, that's you.
I'm watching the news. Can you believe they're rebooting Ad Astra again? Don't you go changing the subject on me. That bloke what stepped out.
Oh, that's right.
That bloke what stopped a robbery at Mrs. De Bruin's place. That wouldn't happen to be you now, would it? I say. Right chuffed. I give the screen a glance.
Can you spare a penny, governor?
Sure enough, there I am, bottle in hand. At least they took the courtesy of blurring out my face. Not that it matters with all my spots, because I'm the only Dalmatian on the planet. That could be anyone. You leave that lady alone right this instant. Anyone? I thought I told you to give me a ring if anything happened. Shit, right. I was gonna text him when I got home. I'm sorry. Are you alright? You're not hurt, are you? Just a few scrapes. I'm glad Mrs. De Bruyn's okay. Can't say the same for her store, though. Who's the big lad? I look at the screen again, just as Dawn Hound breaks through the window and strikes a post. Oh, he just showed up. Called himself the Dawn Hound. Dawn Hound. I bite down another potato chip. Yeah, he had a costume and everything, like the Stinger. Except the Stinger's outfits isn't quite as, whatever that was. Frankly, I'm still processing it. Crazy. I thought he was a stripper or something. I wish.
Which?
What? Nothing. I hear him grind his beak.
Okay.
Anyway, I would have died if he hadn't been there. I'm glad you're still with us. You've still got a bar tab open. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. You know, Lou's gonna want to hear this too. Knowing them, they probably already read about it in 10 different news sites. They want to hear from you personally.
Does this kind of imply that Lou has they, them pronouns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lou has consistently had they, them pronouns all game.
Okay, I guess I missed that.
Yeah, he's fucking ripped.
Oh, well then, of course he has they
no, I'm talking about Alex.
They, them pronouns.
I'm just looking at Alex here.
Okay, for whatever it's worth, I'm pretty bad at pronouns, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me to make a best effort for. So please be kind. I am trying my best in the... I'm assuming I'm going to really butcher this later on.
I was listening for it last session. I don't think you ever fucked up or anything, but I just assumed you noticed.
Good for me.
Alex, like, so this is just the law in furry OCs, is to give them nipple piercings, which are common enough. Those are pretty common among furries in real life too. My understanding is they basically don't heal. So you can just have nipple piercings for years, and I've been around people where they just surprise like start bleeding.
Oh.
You're like, whoops.
Well, you've talked me out of getting my nipples pierced.
It's also apparently like the most painful piercing, according to multiple people, that they've ever had.
I bet.
And some of those people have way more invasive piercings. It's the snide remarks that I'm worried about. Well, that's what friends are for, ain't they? You bet you're wondering how someone who sounds like this grew up in the Netherlands. It's a funny story. Fine, I'll let him know what happened at work tomorrow. Attaboy. Good night, Alex. See you at the Hen. That's the big one that I remember that I was wrong about, and I already forgot the correction.
It's Hen. Maybe?
That's gonna be the part I definitely don't do, is all the parts where you have to do the throaty noises. Night, Willie.
In other news, a spokesperson for Paul Brevard, CEO of Brevard Enterprises, has announced plans for the company's expansion beyond Batavian borders.
Change channel. That's so much worse than having a button.
Yeah.
It's just agonizingly worse than just pressing an arrow over and over again as you channel surf. I am kind of fascinated in the idea of this like high-tech future that features somebody who still watches cable. Like he's going channel by channel in real time for something to watch. Like, because nowadays, anyone who has any kind of technology, they've largely moved on, I think, to like if you're just browsing for something to just watch on a whim, you're probably on YouTube or something. Like just for that kind of standard. The idea of channel surfing when there's just like it's such a breadth of like types of stuff that's just not not anything you'd be interested in for the most part, and it's happening live, so you can't even like start it over. It's just like, ugh. The only people I know that even watch TV anymore are people who are watching cable news, and that's it. That's the only option. I stretch and yawn.
I mean, you can clearly tell this was written by a millennial because no Gen Zers have ever
heard of a television.
Know what a cable is. Yeah.
Channels like Twitch. Yeah. I stretch and yawn, shutting my eyes for what feels like a blink, but I can't get my eyelids open again. This is weird. I wasn't sleepy at all 2 seconds ago. And the next thing I know, I'm somewhere else entirely. It's so dark I can't see my hands in front of my face.
Has he never fucking gone to sleep before? What's happening?
No, I think something's happening to him because he wasn't asleep. He wasn't sleepy. I think he's getting like someone's after him or something.
Oh, he's got like dog hearing powers.
I just figured like it might be the introduction of like the villain from the cold open or something.
Yeah.
I can hear the sound of water dripping in the distance. The pattern's very irregular. I prick my ears up and hear another sound, a more rhythmic pounding against the ceiling right above me. Get a room, you two. It's softer, more distant, and it moves back and forth, like footsteps. I try walking, reaching out to see if I can maybe find a wall to follow, but all I find is more inky black void. Sniffing the air, I immediately retch. It smells like shit. No, worse. What is this place? Someone's basement? There's a lot of question mark people.
Someone's here at last, it seems.
Who is that? Hard to talk while dry heaving.
It's good to see you. I have been waiting for quite some time.
The voice is coming from all around me, like it's inside my head? What the fuck? I try pinching myself.
This is no dream.
What do you want?
You.
Get in line.
You misunderstand.
Listen, I don't come cheap. That's an understatement. That's an understatement. I don't understand anything. What are you, a ghost?
Your behavior is unbecoming of you, Alex de Rooij. You're here because you feel lost, unappreciated, helpless.
A ghost with a major in psychology. Great.
There are many like you.
Jenna, is that you?
This city has lost hope.
But it is not completely without. Stop doing that. Stop talking through me.
It needs someone to nurture it. Someone to protect it. It needs you.
The voice rings in my ear after it finishes talking.
You will come here again when the time is right.
The irregular dripping grows louder, as do the footsteps, until it's a cacophony of indescribable noise. Something shakes me, and I lurch forward, out of the darkness, so fast it leaves me reeling and gasping, falling over. So many question mark names.
Hey, buddy.
Probably Max.
Yeah. Booty. Let's find out.
The ground underneath me is soft. It takes me a moment to realize it's a carpet. My eyes snap open. I didn't even know they were closed. A blurry shape hangs over my head. I recognize those bright colors. Max? I sit up, banging my head against the coffee table and knocking myself flat again. How did you get over there? Almost got another concussion there.
Alright, what's a butterfly gonna sound like?
How do you put clothes on?
One pant at a time. Shit, you're really out of it, dog dude. Hungover?
His shirt says baby bitch.
Man, get it.
What happened?
You tell me, man. I walked in on you tossing and turning and moaning on the couch. Then you fell off. Fucking hilarious. Wish I'd recorded it.
I rub my eyes. My head hurts like hell. And I don't know whether to blame the coffee table or the nightmare. I didn't wake you up, did I?
Dude, it's 10 in the morning.
You're up before noon?
Have to start making an effort if I want to get through an entire season of Pretty Bunny Angel. Hard a day, my guy. I've got a lot to catch up on.
I look at the crushed potato chips scattered all around me. Shit. What time did you say it was?
10?
Oh, I just caught up with this probing proboscis.
It's something else.
Oh no. Shit. Oh, you're fired as fuck. He blinks.
Yeah.
How?
His one eye, his two eyes, in addition to his 12,000 other eyes.
What is this? This wild cartoon design.
That's pretty weird.
I scramble to my feet, rushing to the bathroom. I don't look at my phone. I don't dare look at my phone. Brushing my teeth, fixed my fur.
Buddy?
Can't
It's
talk.
Saturday.
Gotta head to work. I run a comb through the fur between my ears. Doesn't help. Save a spot for me on the couch. I might just lose my job today.
Join the club. Do you need me to make dinner tonight?
No, please, I'll... please, no. I'll, just get some takeout.
Gotcha.
When I decide to look and smell presentable, I rush to the door. Max has already taken his usual spot on the couch, where he'll likely stay until the sun goes down. All the chips are just still there. Ugh. Bye.
See you later, Roomy.
Whoa. The daytime version. Look at that light thing. Like a crossing signal.
Time. The crossing signal thing?
Was it moving and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I just saw everything else, I guess.
It is probably one of the least interesting things in this incredible background here.
It's interesting, though, the idea.
It is interesting, especially in the day. Like, it pops more.
Yeah. Excuse me, passing through. Hey, watch it. I'm on my way to film another commercial.
Yeah, nicely
Sorry.
done.
Whoever said they hate Mondays has clearly never experienced a Saturday in Schippersburg. Weave your way through the never-ending crowd of tourists and Dodge cyclists who never heard of traffic lights long enough, and I'm sure anyone would agree. You're right, it is Saturday. You remembered from when the TV sang that it was Friday.
Yeah.
Not to mention the noise. I'd cut through the canals, but even those were so thick with people I can't see the bottom. Once I finally see the tram stop, I'm all but sprinting, barely looking where I'm going. It's a mistake I regret almost immediately. Ah! A whirlwind of papers scattered the floor as I collide with a woman walking the other way. Oop.
Oh, he's dead.
He's dead. That was his neck. I land right on my tailbone, pain ripping through my body.
The neck of the anus.
The neck of... No!
Okay,
No!
well, sorry.
No! Ugh. The woman's still standing, with barely a scratch, it seems. Oh, important character. They have a face.
Order from the commercial?
Wait. Well, I'm wondering if
that
this
would be
is...
another character from an Astor. Okay. What the fuck is anything right now?
I'm just trying to think, what's his name? His last name is, Tibbets. I wonder if her name's Tibbets or not, if they'll do that kind of reference, because it looks like the otter from The Smoke Room, specifically, the prequel.
Oh.
She's staring right at me, but she doesn't look angry, at least. Hard to tell behind the glasses. Good heavens, are you quite alright, love? Her voice is soft, high-pitched, almost princess-like. Just like us! I'm sorry. I expect to be scolded, but all I hear is a soft giggle. No harm done. It seems we were both a little lost in thought, weren't we? She reaches out, helping me to get back up. Her grip's pretty strong for a small lady. I dust myself off, a scrap of paper that was sticking to my jeans, fluttering to the ground. I managed to nab it just before it flies out of reach. Looks like some sketches of people. The paper's frayed and yellowed. Must be pretty old. Nice drawing. Oh, this isn't my work. I'm just bringing these over to the office. I'm a manga assistant. I hand it back to her and kneel down on the ground to help her gather the rest of the papers, which she organizes and stuffs neatly into a worn-looking satchel. Some of these look like letters, others look like notes. Only some are written in Batavian. Not just any Batavian either, old Batavian. This stuff's 100 years old at least. Once the lady's gathered all the papers, she closes her satchel and proceeds to beam brightly at me. Thank you so much for your help, sir. Hey, it was my fault to begin with. What kind of job has you carrying around things like that, anyway? If it's not yours, I mean. Oh, nothing special, really. Fuck. I forgot. Look, I definitely did see the correction for this one at some point. I'm the creator of Opgado, the art gallery. Wow. We have an assortment of works from artists all over the world, past and present, famous and unknown. You heard of Haps? Nothing special. Just sounds like a cushy gig to me. Or, I said that wrong. I said that weird. Nothing special. Sounds like a cushy gig to me.
There you go.
I've heard about it. With the expensive dress, right? Hey, so is it blue and white, or...
Uh-huh.
The money talks gown. Yes. Another giggle. One of many fine pieces of our collection, as I'm sure you're aware. Really? I've never been. Really now, in that case you should absolutely come by sometime. We'd be more than happy to have you. No admission required. But I'm a stranger, isn't that, Oh my gosh, where are my manners? She grabs my hand immediately, shaking it hard. I'm Fenna. No last name? I'm Alex. Presto! We're no longer strangers. Delighted to meet you. You still seem a little strange to me. I hear a whir besides me, and spot the tram arriving at the stop from the corner of my eye. Oh, there's my ride. I suppose I should be on my way as well. Let's go of my hand. When I open it, sure enough, there's a ticket for 2 to the art gallery. God, first a store robbery, then a weird dream, and now a guerrilla marketing trick? What is my life anymore? It was, nice meeting you, Fenna. Likewise, Mr. Rooij. With a wave, she continues on. It's only once I'm on the train that I realize I never told her my last name. I was just thinking that. I was like, I don't think you mentioned your last name. Yeah? So this is extremely suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
What in the... I can't imagine living in a place cold enough that you can wear a jacket over a jacket.
Well, if you move to Batavia, then
It's just like a whole element of... Just a whole element of fashion denied to me. His getup's kind of wild. He's wearing a hoodie and sweatpants, and then a denim jacket over the hoodie.
And he's also got fur, so it's like a... God damn, he's hot as hell.
He's toasty.
Mm-hmm.
You heard what Bird said. We're turning him. By the time I step off the tram and get to the office, I'm already tired, out of breath, and more than a little icky. You've been sitting on a tram. That was the part where you don't work. Just like any other work day, really. I still haven't checked my phone. If I'm gonna be fired, I want to be fired in person. So I hope I don't get fired. Why not just call in sick? It's flu season, right? Plenty of people get sick this time of year. Or you could just tell your boss the truth, that you had a gun pointed at you. I watched the automatic doors open like a prisoner watching a guillotine's blade being raised. I shudder and step forward, waving at a turtle passing me without looking. I'm just amused by the detail of like obviously, Dawn Hound is already has his own indulgent costume and so on, but it's very funny that Alex the detail that Alex already had a tongue piercing, and he specifically changed it out for a superhero tongue piercing, and he presumably changes that manually every time that he ever goes out. Which, speaking of piercings that you really have to maintain, like that will just close immediately, from what I understand. Because Stephanie has a tongue piercing. Let's see. I hear the familiar clinking of Lou's teaspoon before I see them. Sitting behind the reception desk, looking anywhere but at the door until I clear my throat.
Alex!
Oh, look at the triangle piercings. This is a wild getup of its own.
Yeah.
A full suit, but then just like a goofy button up underneath.
It's pretty snappy.
Yeah, everyone's got everyone looks like a neat cartoon character. I want to look like a neat cartoon character. How do you make...
you can look like a cartoon character, but neat
Damn
is
it.
extremely hard to pull off in real life.
Somebody fix me. I only know how to graphic tease.
Where have you been? It's almost 11.
It's a long story. I started saying the line, saw the ending with "Believe you me," and I said the first half of the line with the cadence of "Believe you me."
It's just, you got a little Shakespearean there, but like
it's
bad Shakespeare.
Yeah, stupid Shakespeare. No one talks about the other 80% of his plays.
Yes, they do.
Shut up.
They're all good.
Fuck.
There's no bad Shakespeare.
I only know like 2 Shakespeare plays.
Oh, what? Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Well, you're an exclusive club called Everybody.
Yeah. Did he do The Tempest? Is that
Yes.
Shakespeare? I don't know The Tempest. I just know that The Tempest is in Life is Strange. I know that I performed.
You set that up like you know The Tempest.
No, I performed The Tempest in the video game Life is Strange. Just like how I think in a different video game, I think I did like The Taming of the Shrew or something.
Okay,
But I don't know what happened. I don't know any of these stories. Midnight Summer's Dream? No idea.
Oh.
Listen, I just got around to watching.
Story.
It's
anyway,
me.
Story.
This is still my line, yeah. I only got around to watching Citizen Kane like last week, chill. It's a long story. Believe you me. It's alright.
Yeah.
There were scenes I liked more than... Yeah. I feel like I should try it again. I did get a drink at the bar. And was midway through the movie when it has a really boring, extended, like news announcer intro that summarizes a bunch of stuff before the movie can start. I was literally falling asleep, and that was like a bad energy level to get to early on in the movie.
Yeah, I can see that. Kind of throwing things off a little bit. I think Citizen Kane's a little overrated, personally.
And I think I sat a little too far away because it was one of those long theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like the long narrow theaters, so I was like I was like surprisingly far from the screen. Like the drama and the scenes where people actually talk to her are interesting. Like I perked up the moment people actually finally started fucking talking to each other in the movie, but there's a very long introduction where it's just summarizing a bunch of shit at you. And by the end I was just a little surprised that like, oh, that's what the movie was? Because like it's like in a weird way, it reminded me of World War Z, the book, not the movie, which is that World War Z is about a zombie apocalypse that already happened, and then decades later, for like a documentary series, somebody's like interviewing people around the world about their stories of surviving the apocalypse decades ago. And in a similar way, it's like this person's going around searching for a story interviews a bunch of people decades later about their experiences with this guy, just kind of trying to find a hook. And it kind of never does, and just gives up and leaves. That's the end of his story.
Yeah.
But it's a framing device for you to interact with these different people that saw this person. But there's a surprising, like, because it's kind of reconstructing the idea of being like a biographical, there's a surprising lack of like narrative structure to a lot of what happened.
And Citizen Kane?
Yeah, you just kind of wander from character to character,
absolutely.
and to the point where it's like it functionally ends on a breakup.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and then he died later. The end. Like you're like, oh, it's over. Oh, okay. Like when you're used to a particular rising and falling action in films, that movie shocks you a bit. Where you're like, oh, that was the movie. It's like I almost. Yeah. Like, I feel like
if I had to summarize it, I think Citizen Kane is a little bit overrated, but I don't think I get it. And I feel like if somebody explained it and I was like a little bit more into like cinema overall, I might appreciate it more. Instead, I just find it a little confusing.
There's just some movies that are a little challenging, where you're like not quite sure where it's gonna go, and sometimes the part where you're not sure where it's gonna go can be a little distracting on the first viewing, and you need to like rewatch it to like it again more. Yep. And I don't know yet if that'll be true for this one, but I remember like the first time I watched The Last Jedi, I was too busy thinking about what might happen that I was a bit distracted throughout the film, and then it was much better to watch it the second time when I sort of knew what the whole thing was. And the biggest case of this ever was Pixar's Wreck-It Ralph. Like they set up like, oh, we're bouncing between all these different video games, picking up a new adventuring party friend in each one and stuff like that. It's like how it sort of starts up. And then they get to the Mario Kart candy dimension, and you're like, okay, gonna pick up this one kart racer and go to the next story, right? And then you slowly dawns on you that we're just stuck here for the rest of the movie in the kind of cloying candy child kart racer area. So that dampened my first experience, and then rewatching that movie was way more fun once I had accepted that we're gonna be stuck with King Candy all movie. But the first time, I'm kind of just waiting for them to go to the next planet, or the next game, I mean. So I wasn't ready. I wasn't fully like ready to sit there and and stay there the way the movie did, and it's gonna confuse me. Doctor Who does that to me a lot too, because Doctor Who is just a weird show. Anyway, it's a long tangent, believe you me.
You tell me. First, I have to read online that you stopped a robbery last night.
I swear, I was gonna tell you.
And now I have your supervisor bringing down my neck asking about you. Do you have any idea how long I had to cover for you?
I don't know.
2 hours. Who does he think I am, you nanny? I tried calling, but you wouldn't pick up.
Their frantic stirring finally slows down.
I was worried, you know.
I'm sorry. They're double married. Sorry. It's a stupid joke, but just like the hand, I'm like, they're double married. They're so married. They look me up and down.
It's okay. Must have been a shitty night for you.
You don't know the half of it. Thanks for covering for me.
You want to thank me? Grab me a new coffee.
This is one of my favorite types of characters in fiction, I think, is the person who has fucked up supernatural shit happen to them, but they're so busy being a wage slave they don't have time to stop and think about it. So like Alex gets like brain kidnapped at night, and then it's just like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get fired. Just like, runs to work. It's very funny.
That is very funny.
I love that. I love that setup. They lift their cup.
This one's gotten cold.
This is it. I've passed this office 1,000 times before, but in my 10 years of working here, I've only been in once. I was usually on time, until today. Can't relate. I've been late to almost every day of every job I've ever had.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I worked in a cubicle where I wouldn't even see anyone for a week at a time, usually.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
And it was a cubicle farm, so it's like, no one, like, no one would even notice what exact minute I sat down, really, unless somebody's carefully actually using technology to monitor my terminal, which, if they did, I guess they didn't care either. And if they did, and if they were monitoring my terminal, they probably would have noticed me reading Junji Ito comics on Imgur on my desktop. Which only retroactively I realized, like, oh wait, there are places that would notice this, but I don't think that the government water quality control board is one of those places. Apparently, it's not like working at Apple or whatever, where they probably monitor your workstation and notice when you're just fucking around. I was usually on time until today. Mostly well behaved until today. Typically wore the uniform until today. All right, no other choice. I feel like you're probably not fired then, honestly, if everything you just said is accurate. You don't have a history of fucking up. Usually when we show the superhero getting to work and getting fired, it's because they're Peter Parker and they've been fucking up for months. Like, firing people's bad for the person doing it. Like, they have long-term consequences for firing people. Usually, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because if it happens more than like once or twice, then people are going to look at it and be like, "Are you a shitty hiring manager?" Anyway, this is an incredibly boring topic.
No.
Talking about a hiring manager. Once those words leave my lips, we're going down the dullest rabbit hole.
That was one of the most insane. The interesting thing about the phrase hiring manager is the fact that, like, that was the weird serendipity of our friend group, was realizing that fucking you and Toaster worked right next to each other at some point without knowing each other, and then are reunited more recently.
It was very funny.
That was very weird. I go in expecting the worst. It turns out even that was optimistic. A few minutes of verbal abuse later, and I find myself in the hallway again. I don't think it went well. Oh. Happy bear! Look at him! No. He's psyched. Look how happy the bear is. Don't look at the teams. Don't look at the dog. Don't look at the dog. The dog's sad. Look at the bear. Is that a Himalayan salt lamp in the background?
I'm okay in the word team.
I'm fine. This is fine.
I didn't know dogs were capable of being sad. I thought they were happy and confused. Those are the two emotions a dog can have. You
had a dog?
Yeah.
Unemployed. Years of loyal service right down the shitter. That's a shitty boss.
Yeah.
My ears are still ringing. My supervisor was yelling loud enough for the entire floor to hear. No point sticking around here anymore, I guess. I hope I can somehow avoid Lou on the way out. I'm in no mood to talk to anyone right now. I figured they were gonna get fired, not because it made sense, but because narratively it makes sense. Because they're gonna be a superhero now. They're gonna get hired by a billionaire to be their pet superhero boy. I start to make my way back to the elevator when I notice a guy standing down in the hallway. That could be anybody.
Oh, hey, who's this guy?
And he's even reading the Stinger book, like we heard about, from Anchor Comics, I guess, or something. Hero like never before. That's huge text for the subtitle.
Yeah.
A Rottweiler, shorter than I am, but a lot stockier. He's dressed more formally than most of the people around the office, which makes him stand out quite a bit. Great.
Lou.
Oh, what'd you say?
Not compared to Lou. Kind of the same level of formal, don't you think?
He's got a tie.
Yeah.
Lou was wearing like a button up under the jacket, yeah. Great, he'll definitely have heard that little exchange. At least I think so. He's engrossed in a comic right now, though his eyes do flick in my general direction when I stomp towards him. I really don't feel like talking to anyone. I just want to get to the elevators.
Rough day on the job.
Great, just what I was hoping for. He flips to another page. It's not an issue I've seen before.
Want to talk about it?
Explicitly no. I feel like I know that voice. Or rather, I feel like I should know that voice, but I'm so frazzled I can't recall a thing. Not really, no. Weird thing to ask someone you don't know.
Not true. I could hear out in the hallway. It got pretty heated in there.
Of course he heard it. As if this morning hasn't been humiliating enough already. I got fired, okay? Happy now? He finally looks up from the comic, eyebrows furrowed.
Fired? I wasn't expecting... so sorry.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, I'm just gonna go home. And shop for a box of tissues and a bucket of ice cream along the way. Maybe 2 buckets. I think they're on sale this week.
Ah, right. Oh, don't let me keep you.
He does a little curtsy. Comic book in hand.
Okay.
I don't even know how you do that. You lift your vest points.
Yeah, I don't really know how you do that without
especially when you're holding a comic.
Mm-hmm.
I guess instead of just nodding at him or something, he just like bent his knees at him, just bobbed. I only feel slightly mocked.
I'll see you around, Spot.
Spot? You're terrible at this secret identity thing. His voice sounded a little different from that time, almost like... I freeze. But he's already walking off, turning his head one more time to look at me. Okay, no, he's not being subtle on purpose then.
You're free the rest of the day. Might I suggest visiting Opgeduct? They have a stunning new collection on display that can really turn a bad day around.
Okay, so it was a recruitment method. That's why she knew his name already, too.
Yeah.
What? Does that also mean she was waiting around for hours for him to come in because he was late? He turns the corner.
That I don't know about. I guess so.
Hey, wait! I try to follow him, but he's nowhere to be seen. He called me Spot. Surely he couldn't be. Was he the guy from last night? Nothing in that conversation made sense. He looked like he was waiting for me, but how do you know I'd be there? And at this time? I did tell that Dawn Hound character I worked in repairs at Brevard. But why would someone like him come here just to gloat about me getting canned? All he did was give me a clumsy, cryptic message. Turn a bad day around. I fished the ticket Fenna gave me earlier out of my pocket. It looks normal enough to me. Turn it around in my palm. There's something handwritten on the back. I hadn't noticed it before with all the commotion and the getting fired from my lifelong job, but it's definitely there. It's an address in Schippersburg, but not one I know off the top of my head. Somewhere in the freshwater district. It's underlined with a fancy signature and 2 words. Signed, D.H. Dawn Hound.
Oh.
So definitely the masked gimp suit vigilante. I'm not seriously contemplating going to an address scribbled on the back of a card given to me by a total stranger, am I? I look at my supervisor's office door. Right. Nothing left to lose anyway. But first, I'd better stop by reception. Maybe Lou knows something. Company gossip rarely gets past them. They just wander off to get murdered at the murder mansion. Recepti. I approached the reception desk. Probably for the last time. Lou was sipping a cup of coffee, as always, glued to the reception's holographic screen. Recepti. But no smoking.
I mean, it's the future. Everything's gotta be clean.
No, I mean, they're different languages.
Oh.
The 2 signs are in different languages from each other. That's what threw me.
I mean, they live in, Batavia, which is a very metropolitan place, and it has every language.
So you just RNG what language every sign is in?
Yeah.
I clear my throat.
Alex, so how'd it go?
I'm fucked. Let's just say we can hang out a lot more from now on, because my schedule is completely clear for the foreseeable future. The green looks really good with the purple. Sorry, I'm just...
It's not bad at all. It's a little bit on the blue side.
It's a good setup.
You know,
yeah,
you got desaturated.
You've got like a slightly like sort of like sea green thing going on there, and you've got this like burgundy overall set. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Kind of want it.
It's pretty excellent.
They frown.
I'm so sorry, Alex. I tried to smooth things over as best I could.
Don't know what I'm gonna do now.
I can help you look for job postings later if that helps. There's plenty of people in the city that could use a hand.
I'll take just about anything. Even your desk job offer.
That desperate?
Very.
We'll see. How about I take you out on a night on the town?
Just noticing that both the earrings point inward like arrows, like my eyes over here.
Just the two of us.
Thanks, Lou. That sounds great.
And we'll go see that musical.
No. That sounds less great. They laugh.
Hey,
What about your kids?
I'll get my sister to watch him for the night. Shouldn't be a problem. I'll give you a call later. Just take it easy for now.
I notice I've been getting sidetracked. Actually, there's something important I wanted to ask you.
Yes, I will.
Anything. Lou's ears perk up. A dead giveaway. They're hungry for some juicy news. Did you see a Rottweiler come by the reception earlier by any chance? Fancy clothes, pretty buff, kinda handsome. Don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. Inside voice. Inside thoughts. Lou looks pensive and takes another sip of coffee.
Not that I recall.
That's odd. They usually notice everything.
They weren't handsome.
Oh, that's your type? Interesting.
You think you know somebody.
They turn out to be a freak. It's like the most normal fucking appearance ever, and they're acting so weird about it.
Oh, man.
The main entrance is the only way into the building for security reasons. Not to mention the clearance needed to use the elevators.
You're trying to score a hot date?
So that means that, I forgot his name. I forgot the boss's name. Dawn Hound's names is Brevard. That means Brevard has his own entrance. That's completely separate.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not that he
went to his office.
He has even more clearance. What? No, because we would have had to come in too.
Oh, right.
And he presumably had to go home because his superhero Batcave is probably not at his office building. It's probably at his mansion.
It could be.
So I figure he has to go back to his mansion and then he has to come here afterwards.
Yeah, tunnel, maybe.
Tunnel. Bat tunnel, because bats tunnel. I don't dip my pen in the company ink, Lou.
In the future, is there gonna be ink? Like, what?
What?
Are pens and ink gonna still exist in the future? No. Everything's gonna be on this holographic shit.
I don't know. Sayings just persist regardless. Sometimes we don't even remember what they mean.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not even 100% sure.
So skibbity, and
I hate
no one's
you.
gonna know what the hell that means.
I was watching a leftist cooks video today, and I'm not 1000% sure, but I'm pretty sure that they explained that the phrase "beyond the pale" comes from the place that is actually called the Pale in Ireland. And I was like, what? Wait, what does it mean?
Weird.
Wait, what does it mean? Wait, I'm questioning this phrase that I've heard all my life that I don't know the meaning of. Because they're just there, like save icons, looking like floppy disks and things. But that said, it's only 2035. Ink can't be that gone yet, even if it isn't here now. It was. Does it count as company ink when I'm unemployed?
Excuse me for being optimistic about an inkless future.
I would love to be in a future where I never can write anything unless I have a specific proprietary device provided to me by a multi-billion company.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something democratizing about pencils and pens, man. Don't let your tablets control the all flow of information. What about when the revolution starts?
I mean, voice-activated TVs where you have to say, like, thanks, Brevard.
That's
Isn't
so
that a
upsetting.
future you want to live in?
I'm so upset with Alex. Like, Alex is inherently a person that I can empathize with less because he's somebody who left the voice commands on their device. Like, just upsetting that anyone would actually. It's like being the one person who lived the Kinect future, where they're operating their computer or their TV with their fucking Microsoft Kinect in modern year, like all these years later. Oh God, is the Kinect 20 years old now?
I think so.
I think it's getting there. I got myself a Kinect as a funny gift to reward myself for qualifying for the Pell Grant for college.
Oh, wow.
So I think I got a Kinect in 2008. That's upsettingly 16 years ago.
Yeah, it is.
This is the thing that happens every 2 hours in all of my content where I remind you that time is passing. Fuck you. We're not friends, audience. I'm gonna inflict psychic damage on you at random intervals.
I
Does it
just
really
am catching strays.
Yeah. Does it count as company ink now that I'm unemployed? Technically not, right? They raised an eyebrow at me.
Last year's delivery guy would beg to differ.
I know it sounds crazy, but there was something off about him.
It's probably just one of the new hires.
I haven't heard anything about new hires. Only new fires, as far as I'm concerned. Waka waka.
Well, we are expanding. We have a role we need to backfill. It opened up today.
You look kind of old to be new here, and, well, rich. He had a suitcase and everything. He had a suitcase in one hand and a comic book in the other. This guy was fucking busy. No hands available. That's why he had to curtsy. They lower their voice and put down their cup.
What? You think Brevard showed up to personally send you on your merry way?
Their tone is sarcastic, but it still leaves me wondering. I'm not sure.
Wait, you don't seriously think?
I gotta go. Catch you at the hen?
I'll keep the seat warm for you.
Thanks. I turned for the exit. But not literally. My sprite stayed static.
Go. Turn right, and your destination will be on your left.
I'm pretty far from civilization now.
In the elemental plane of light.
I'm just... I was thinking of a joke where I'm just like, turn right, and your destination will be on your left. That's right, it was right in front of you before you turned.
Hey, can you make the text go away? I want to see the background art. Thanks.
Yeah, no, we just embrace the void now. Welcome to the hyperbolic time chamber let's play. Time's not passing outside of this video now. You're actually stuck here, and we'll never let you go.
Anyway, can we move on?
No. I'm listening to the birds. I mean, I'm nearing city limits. Nothing but farmland out this way. There weren't even any train or tram stops nearby either. I had to walk for 30 minutes just to get here. Prime serial killer territory. And for what? I don't see anything even remotely resembling a hero's hideout here. What is it? Hidden? Look at this fucking cottage-ass place. Look at the discus thrower. And the sad lantern person out there.
Yeah. Damn, this person's got statue money.
Trying to remember if that... No, I don't think that was what the Ad Astra statue looked like. There's a room with statues there. Oh, lion head. Those are huge. Check out the knockers on that door. They're fucking huge.
Whoa.
They're like a foot wide.
Now that's a door I'd like to fuck.
Just an ancient looking house with an overgrown yard behind a giant rusty gate. A rusty old gate. That's not giant. I added that. I made it up. It's my fan fiction. This is fan fiction now. You've actually been reading my version of the story. Do not steal.
Ooh.
Actually, that's pretty high up on the potential hideout spot list. Still, this is the address written on the ticket. I yank the gate open. The banshee-like shriek of the old metal is painful. It shuts behind me. No turning back now. Walking down the cobblestone path leading up to the mansion, I pass statues that have all seen better days. They each depict canines in combat poses, some carrying weapons that have lost their edge. They look older than stuff I see at the museum. Maybe it's just my nerves, but it feels like they're watching me, judging me. Oh right, we're in a country where things can actually be old. I'm not used to that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, the unique way that Europe can actually have old things in it, as opposed to this country where everything was built.
Yeah, where it's like, ooh, ancient artifacts from 200 years ago.
I sure as hell hope this place isn't haunted. Ooh, oh, they shrank.
This legend of the country's founding, my great-grandfather was there to see.
Long time ago in a distant... I reach the front door, which looks like something straight out of a historical drama. It's got no doorbell, just a big old pair of knockers.
Yeah. I'm talking a real set of badonkas.
The honka-donka bunk. No sign of life inside, from what I can see through the windows. No cars that I can see either. I knock on the door.
He didn't use the knockers?
He didn't use the knockers. That was clearly a finger. How dare you?
Yeah.
The knockers are there for a reason. You gotta respect them. I must be going insane. Complete silence. Did my GPS lead me astray? I knock again.
The door's knockers long to be touched.
Yes.
How dare you?
Firmly grasp it. This time I swear I can at least hear
yearn for the knocks.
They've been so lonely out here. One of them always tells the truth, the other one always lies. I swear I can at least hear someone inside, barely audible over the sound of the rain starting to trickle out the sky behind me. Why are there still birds then? I'm about to declare the mission a bust when, with a loud creak, the door is finally open, bathing me in a warm light and bringing me face to face with the largest crow I've ever seen in my life. Oh, so you will be our abductee today. He's dressed the 9s. No, 10s. Face and beak scratched and scarred. He has scars? Never saw those. Oh, there's one over his eye. I thought that was lighting.
Yeah.
His face is framed rather nicely by a pair of glasses. I guess this is the butler. A butler that doesn't do yard work. A very dashing butler who almost looks... How should I put it? Nerdy? His eyes drill into the very core of my being. I'm taller than most, but I actually have to look up at him slightly. I feel small next to him. Insignificant. Scared. I'd mentioned catching a glimpse of bulging muscles, but that's all I see. Muscles. Guess household chores are good for something. Good afternoon. What can I do for you? A Russ accent. This is the guy Dawn Hound was talking to. Combined with his deep voice, it only makes him more imposing. Hi, I'm... Master already donates to charities. I'm not here for donations. I got this. Master has no interest in essential oils or herbal supplements either. God, no, look, I'm Alex DeRoy. I got this ticket with an address on it telling me to come here. It's only now that I realize how stupid that sounds. Someone shoot me. Is that Robert from yesterday still around?
Yeah.
Give me ticket. Wait, he bought it? I fished the ticket out of my pocket and passed it over. He scans the back of it with one eye. The other remains strangely still. Oh, so he only has one eye. He gives me a once-over. We have been waiting for you. There's a hint of warmth in his voice now that wasn't there before. If I wasn't still a nervous wreck, I'd say it was almost alluring. You need to subtly remind you that everyone could turn me on in this game. It's all on the table. Maybe it's the accent. You have? Quite some time, yes. He steps aside, holding the door open for me. Honey, you have another storm coming. Alright, there's a storm coming. You don't gotta tell me for it twice. Right. Don't want your place to smell like wet dog. Do not worry, I am used to it. I sidle past him. He smells like citrus and pepper. I don't know if it's cologne or something he's been cooking. Definitely not a bad scent. Blu-rays. Oh, I see a reference. Oh, that's a good reference. That's a good one to include. That is the one book that's facing us is the graphic novel. I think it's the fourth chapter of Black Sad.
Okay.
The crime noir cat. It's like, I don't know, probably one of the most significant pieces of like furry fiction, in that it's only debatably furry adjacent. It's just it's a very furry setting, but it's not necessarily from in fandom. It's hard to say. But yeah, Black Sad is fantastic. Funnily enough, my playthrough of the video game is airing right now as we're recording this. It's bad.
Oh,
the video game is
maybe
very.
It's a Kojima thing, and it like looks at what you've played recently and puts that cover on there.
But no, the video game is a very bad attempt at a Telltale style adventure game.
Oh.
And it just doesn't. Not only does it fall apart, like the first zone is like a walk around and pick up clues and investigate this huge area, non-linearly area, and then the rest of the game is immediately completely linear because they gave up. Like it's.
Oh, they probably tried to make a Danganronpa and gave up.
And then in later areas, you literally don't even like walk around. It's just cutscenes playing end to end, and you just make dialogue choices and QTEs and move on. Like it's they clearly lost their scope. Same thing happened in that horror game Scorn. Like it has a huge sprawling first zone, then never again. You learn that mistake real quick. But if you haven't read it, Black Sad is like really significant just as a graphic novel in general. Like it's not furry specific. It's just one of the highest rated graphic novel series. It's a crime noir period piece series. It's really cool with some of the just most astonishing art I've seen in a graphic novel. So it's cool to see it really thrown in there. I don't know if I recognize anything else. I'm willing to bet that the spines of all of those movies are actually specific movies, and they're like riffing on specific things for their own amusement. And I don't know, that record might be Black Parade, but I can't tell. Anyway, jucking about. Those cassettes on the top left. Those are records in the middle left.
Yeah,
a whole record player. Anyway, the foyer is richly decorated. Beautiful red walls lined with dark wooden doors and bookcases that are all completely stacked, like a library from a fantasy book. My eyes are drawn to an impressive bust of a canine sitting in an alcove on the far wall. Poor busts, always cursed to never be busty. Unlike the statues outside, the one seems to have retained its original bronze color. That's bronze? But just like the statues outside, it stares right at me. Its eyes following me no matter which direction I look at it from. I'm imagining ancient statues, but they have furry follow me eyes. The slightly recessed eyes that make it look like they're looking at you.
Oh,
it'd be really
I know
funny.
what you mean, and that's odd.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't expect a statue to do, but that's what fursuits do really consistently. Is a ton of them have recessed eyes that look like they're making eye contact. I will fetch, master. Please wait here, and do not touch anything under any circumstances. I will be back shortly. Yes, sir. As he turns away, I can't help but notice his very defined features. He carries himself with elegance, especially for such a large man. Given how bad our password playthrough has been lately, being brought into a foyer by a butler is upsetting me. That is most of that game. He leaves through one of the doors. His footsteps echo around the large room. Instantly, I feel compelled to explore. I know he literally just told me not to touch anything, but I've never been in a rich people house before, and they just got so much to see. I'm pretty sure I could spend over a year in this place and not get bored. I scan the shelves, looking for anything that catches my eye. Are these comic books? They sure look like comic books. This one has the entire Stinger collection. Would they notice if I snuck an issue home with me? Focus, Alex, don't touch anything. A minute passes, and then another. The ticking clock's starting to get on my nerves. Nerves, said that weird. I guess that one rabbit's like a hologram. One of those effects.
Oh, where? Oh, yeah.
On the right shelf, there's a hologram.
I've been trying to figure
rabbit.
that out.
Yeah. There's like stuff kind of like that where they'll have like a piece of glass with something on it and a light shining into
Exactly.
it. It's like the lazy version, but
it does look like that. Yeah.
That looks like an uncomfortably low chandelier. I guess that's why there's a table under it. Marty's house has an obstacle chandelier. Because he has a kitchen spot that like it would be too inconvenient to put a table there because it would really block walking around in that room. But that does mean that there's a chandelier hanging in that small kitchen square that doesn't have a table under it. So it's at my head height. So it's just a chandelier just in collision range. They really give me respect for the idea of like, oh, right. Normally when somebody has a chandelier, they're really committing to having a table right there forever. Like that's, I've never considered that correlation before. I tried some of the doors, but they're all locked. Even the one the butler went through. Aww, I was kind of looking forward to snooping. But I'm a Dalmatian. Wait, was Snoopy a Dalmatian? No, he's not.
Snoopy was a Dalmatian.
Was he?
Weren't they?
I think.
Oh, was he a beagle?
Yeah, he's like a beagle because he's just got like one. He's got floppy ears in like one spot. The eyes fall on the my eyes fall on the bust again. I'm still. It's still staring at me with those empty bronze eyes, almost begging for me to investigate. Walking up to it, I catch a familiar scent. Ginger and lime, just like Dawn Hound last night. Does he put the mask on that? Well, the rest of the ample bust. Sorry. Yeah, like he just hangs up the thing there. I always think like if I get a suit, I want some kind of posable mannequin to prop it up on when I'm not wearing it, like a stuffed bear.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what? You're gonna spend that much on something and put it away most of your life? No. It's gonna be in the background of my video essays. Looming. It'll slowly move closer over the course of a video. Look forward to that gag 5 years from now when I have a house. Well, the rest of the ample bust is practically sparkling. There's a noticeable smudged handprint right on top of its head. I tilt my head. It's bothering me. I roll my sleeve over my hand and place it on the dog's head. Before I can get to scrubbing, I hear a loud click. I was like, yeah, it's the spot they touched to open the secret. The bookcase is gonna open.
Yep.
The bus gives way under my paw, head sinking a bit, just like I pressed a button.
You know what'd be really funny is if they inverted this trope and he just knocks the bust over and it just breaks and like nothing happens.
That's what I thought was gonna happen for a minute. Because that is essentially the other trope, is you're left alone in an expensive room when told not to touch anything, and then you immediately fuck up and break something.
Yeah.
So until I heard about the smudge, I was like, is he just gonna break this bust and then they're gonna walk in exactly then? It was like that. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you guys have ghosts? You guys have ghosts? I'm about to step back when all of a sudden. Ah! The floor drops under me. Oh, that's not what I thought was going to happen. I try to stop myself, but I've built up too much momentum. The chute-like structure evens out into a slide, and I'm hurtling down at maximum velocity. I keep screaming, but after a while there's no air left in my lungs. These have been the worst 24 hours of my entire life! By the time I hit a soft surface at the bottom, I'm all but traumatized, eyes still shut tight.
Wow, 3 minutes and 34 seconds.
Haha, the funny number. It's the number of it's the funny number. You know
the
why?
Number of convictions Donald Trump has.
Exactly, and no other reason. The voice is distant. For future reference, when this eventually comes out to the public, this is literally the day that Trump got elected on 34 charges.
Elected? No.
Convicted on 34 charges. We started late literally because Bird was celebrating. The voice
it was Lady Bird's idea.
Yeah. Did you
actually wait? No, it was my idea.
34
Her
shots.
idea was burritos. My idea was beer.
Did you have 34 of anything? Ounces?
Yeah, I had 34 beers. I've transcended to a new plane of drunkenness. Originally thought impossible.
You actually prestige. You just reset back to level 1.
I'm new game drunk.
New drunk plus. The voice is distant, but there's still no mistaking it. That's the Dawn Hound.
I believe you owe me 20 euros, sir. Distant.
And the butler, too. I guess that was the butler then. I believe you owe me 20 euros, sir. And the butler, too. Maybe they can stop having question marks soon so we can know who's talking.
Yeah.
What?
That'd be great.
I push myself up, but my arms are still shaking. And I just end up collapsing on the padded, leathery floor again. I can't believe what I see when I open my eyes.
Wow. It looks like a lot of other sci-fi places in this world.
Yeah. It's fun seeing them incorporate like moving elements and stuff.
It is cool.
It appears that they do not have the same crisis of faith that Morgan Freeman had in the second Dark Knight movie, because they're clearly using like the crime scanner thing, whereas like they're like, we'll use it this once to catch the Joker, and then we'll explode it because it's evil, and we should never give ourselves this kind of power. It's a commentary on the Bush administration. This guy's like, we're in the Netherlands. Who are you talking? We never heard of that. Let's keep it.
I mean, Europe is a giant police state.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, did he fall straight through
agreement? But
did he just fall straight from the top?
Yeah. There's like that big hole in the center of the room, right? You see that in the ceiling?
Yeah, that's upsetting to look at. It's not even a chute. It just dropped him flat.
No.
I don't like that. I don't like that it's not even a slide at the end. Let's see. When I agreed, I was on autopilot a little bit, but I was only just thinking about like the how much I hear about CCTV in Europe being around a lot.
Oh, the UK has that. Yeah, you're right.
Let's see, same comic from earlier. They probably just take the same picture and just kind of skew it wherever it shows up. I don't think I'm gonna pick up anything else besides the fact that that's just the nighttime landscape from town. Aren't they inconveniently far away from town, if that's the place they're monitoring? Like, we had to take a tram and then a 30-minute walk to get here. Does he have like a a human vacuum tube to like just launch them back to that location whenever they need to respond to a crime? Because he somehow responded to the robbery in like 5 minutes.
Well, maybe he's got a cool car and not a fucking tube thing.
Yeah. Also, I'm stupid. This is where the bird hangs out. The dog's already in town.
Oh,
Dawn Hound would already be there. The bird monitors him here. Right.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna have a phone. Right.
Anyway, now that I'm that's all on the record and I'm just stupid in front of everyone. It's like the set of a sci-fi flick in here. Screens showing security footage in city streets, machines, buttons, flashing lights, and levers everywhere. The air's so huffy in here, it's almost hard to breathe.
Not quite.
Was stuffy. The air is so huff aromas in here, TM, that it's hard to breathe. The butler's managing a large computer at the end of the room. There's what appears to be a ventilation system along the ceiling, and a thick metal pipe leading down into the floor. Somewhere. Oh, there it is on the left. Is this part of the mansion too? Just how far below ground are we? Just what was that slide? You drank the fizzy lifting drinks.
Be gone from my house. Need a hand spot?
I'm so distracted I didn't notice the fuzzy brown hand reaching out to me. I look up at its owner. Come to think of it, I feel dumb for not recognizing him at the office earlier.
You should.
It's not a good disguise. It's a very distinct body shape. I scramble to my feet, glad I'm still in one piece after that. Sore all over though.
You probably have a lot of questions. What?
A few thousand at least. Yeah. A couple. What the hell's going on here?
And I'd be more than happy to answer them.
At least someone's tail is wagging. Okay, who are you?
Why, I'm known as the Dawn.
I mean, who are you really?
Right. I suppose I haven't properly introduced myself yet.
The butler swivels his swanky office chair around. I advise you not to divulge any unnecessary information, sir.
Christ's sake, Milo. He deserves to know. What kind of animal do you think, Jesus Christ is in this world?
I think we made this joke last time and it was a lamb.
Oh, right. Right.
Yep.
The name's Rooij Brevard, CEO of Brevard Enterprises. The sparkling ray of sunshine over there is my butler.
Milo Drozov. Right. Brevard. Did you say Raoul Brevard? The Brevard? Think of the future, think of Brevard. My boss? That's you?
In the flesh.
This is a joke, right? Where are the cameras? Everywhere. There's so many cameras. My eyes dart between the dog and the bird, waiting for them to laugh and admit it, but they don't. My eyes are darting all over the room, scanning for hidden camera crews. Alright. You can all come out now. I feel like a clown. This was a mistake.
It's a lot to take in, I know. But it's all true.
But no one's ever seen Brevard in person.
Precisely. What better cover identity for a masked vigilante? No one would suspect a reclusive millionaire with zero media presence.
Uh-huh. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? In comic books, I'd say that's usually the first person to suspect, but now that I'm actually seeing it in real life, I'm utterly floored. You're serious, aren't you?
I just told you, I'm I didn't watch the YouTube video. Well, I mean, I did. All I remember is how bad we were.
He laughs, then notices I'm not joining him and stops. Behind him, the butler, Milo. Milo? Rubs
Milo.
one more for the video. Milo. Rubs his beak with a groan.
Yes, quite serious.
I like where he talks with the tiny mouth. It's really funny. He has the tiny
It's
mouth.
the mouth equivalent of the two fingertippies touching emoji. Tough crowd.
Tough crow.
Crowd.
Does this guy think he's a comedian or something? I can't take this anymore. This isn't funny. I traveled halfway across the city to some huge mansion that can't decide if it's fancy or dilapidated. Then I tumbled down a magic slide into an overgrown basement with security screens everywhere that apparently belongs to one of the richest people in the city. My former employer, who apparently fancies himself a pro wrestler / crime fighter at night and sends me on a breadcrumb trail to this secret lair of his. My gestures are as wild as my mind is. And you're acting like we've just had a casual job interview at the office. What the hell is all this? I've had the worst day of my life, and... Before I can continue my incoherent blathering, the Rottweiler puts... That's not nice to yourself. The Rottweiler puts his paw firmly on my shoulder. He's strong. The look on his face is serious now.
Alex, please, calm down.
Or the needles come out. There's kindness and concern in his eyes.
I'm sorry. Probably a lot to take in. I hadn't quite considered that this must all be very unusual for you.
Listen, it was funnier in my head. Everyone's like, yeah, pranked, bro, but then there's like the 10 seconds after, and you're like, oh. Maybe not. That's an understatement if I've ever heard one. I nod. His face softens back into a smile, though not as goofy as before.
But there is a reason for everything. I promise. Hear me out?
I feel like I'm about to cry. I take a deep breath. All right, Mr. Brevard.
No need for formalities.
Daddy? I mean, Raoul? What is this place? Why am I here? We are currently at secret location, about 50 meters underground.
Every hero needs a lair.
Why?
As for the why, you're here because I want to make you an offer.
What kind of offer?
Do you remember what happened last night?
At the store? He nods. How can I not?
What if I told you that was only one of many recent incidents?
He paces towards the row of screens, hands on his back.
Not just the Saltwater Syndicate at work. They're part of a bigger picture. Civilians such as yourself might not notice it, but there are cracks starting to form in our beautiful city.
I mean, it's a big city with almost 1 million people. You'd think crime is just part of the deal. Isn't that what the police are for? Why fight crime yourself? Oh. Poor Alex. He thinks the police fight crime. He turns his head towards me. The glare from the screens hits his glasses, and I can't see his eyes behind them.
This is the Berlin is only one of excuse me, is only one of hundreds of innocents targeted this past year alone. Someone needs to take a stand. Protect the folks the police can't. Won't, which is everyone. Alex de Rooij. Last night, you showed exemplary courage.
Recklessness.
Regardless, you saved the life of an innocent woman, as well as my own. I'd like to invite you to join my cause as my assistant. My sidekick, if you will.
I do like this song a lot.
It's pretty good.
My jaw has officially hit the floor. When I try to force words out, all I can do is stammer and stutter.
You're free to refuse, of course, and pretend this never happened.
Be a little awkward. Maybe
Mila
should have done
will
that at
take
the
you
door.
home. Yeah, we'll have to wipe your memories. Mila will take you home. I'll see what I can do to smooth things over with your supervisor, and you can continue enjoying your everyday life.
I'll see what I can do about the person who I just control.
Yeah, really. But is that what you want? Would you rather be part of something bigger?
He turns back to me, a hand extended. I look down at it, then back up at him. He's got the same goofy grin on his face as he did last night. Something bigger. I've been stuck so long that just hearing those words feels like reaching the light at the end of a long tunnel. But then I think back at how it felt helping Miss De Bruyne last night. How terrified I was. How I almost died. Multiple times. I can't see myself living in fear like that and coming out with a grin that big. Why did I come here in the first place? I bat his hand away. His face falls. I'm sorry. I can't accept this.
Oh, he's refusing the hero's call.
Whoa.
Oh, we're on step 3 of the hero's journey.
Yeah.
But why not?
Unfortunately, journey's only about 90 minutes long, so... I'm not cut out for it like you are. I don't think I've ever been as terrified as I was last night. Speaking of things being old, Journey is 12 years old this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Wallow
are
in
you
that.
doing these things?
Wallow in it, roll in it.
Believe me, I wouldn't be offering you this job if I didn't think you were the right man for it.
Well, I'm not the right man, okay? I sigh. I'm just a fuck-up who dropped out of college because things got too difficult. I'm sure you can do better than that for a sidekick.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. I will look elsewhere.
Yeah, I just forgot to
that's
check your
not true.
GPA first. Whoops. Yeah, get the fuck out. It's just, I guess it's just required by law that every Echo Project protagonist is a bad student.
Projecting. Wait, that's not quite what I meant. It's right when you know. There you go. Right when you know. That's not true.
They're all different writers.
Well, they all fucked up in college, apparently.
It's just the universal experience. You said I could refuse. I refuse. This is all just getting too much for me. I look past him at the crow, who's gone back to typing on his computer. Hey, can you tell me where the exit is? There's an elevator to your right. Okay, thanks.
At least let him drive you home.
I walked over here. I can walk back. I just need to clear my head. I dust myself off and brush him aside, tipping my head to Milo as I hit what I assume are to be the elevator button. The door
Nuclear
opens.
launch detected.
Oh, that's the ejection capsule. Just fires him into orbit. A door opens. It's a pretty small elevator for a place this big. I guess it's only built for 2 people at a time. There's only one button. Up. Good. I'm sorry I couldn't help you. I step inside.
What?
Zoom. The doors close. And this was actually never a superhero series. We lied to you. Enjoy our long-term drama about a wage slave just trying to get by in the world. 300 more chapters to go.
Yay! It's a book called Life.
No!